All right, y'all. We got part 2. We're going in part 2. We got old Dr. Marvin done showed up, so we're gonna switch this thing over to him right about now. Let me switch this around, y'all. Hey man, you say whatever on your heart to say. I already got it rolling, the camera rolling. I just keep it raw. I don't do no editing, no cutting or nothing and stuff. I give it people just like how it is. And so we out here today back at the Pan-African Village over here in the Sable Central region of Ghana, y'all. And we getting the land cleared over here. This is for the medical facility that's coming up. And we're gonna go ahead and introduce yourself to the people.
All right, well, my name is Marvin Walker. I'm the CEO and founder of Daycare Health and Transport. And Daycare Health and Transport is basically a medical ride share and on-demand staffing platform. And what that basically means is we operate just like Uber, Bolt, Yango, Lyft in the States. And individuals here on the continent and in the US, they use our app to request for medical transportation. In the US in particular, over 3.5 million people miss their medical appointments every year because of lack of transportation, primarily those in underserved communities. And here on the continent of Ghana, you know, on the continent of Africa, but in particular here in Ghana, when I came to Ghana in 2018, the country only had 16 ambulances. The president just brought in about 321 about a year and a half, almost 2 years ago. And they're working towards, you know, bringing more. So we want to support their efforts so that people, when they have a medical emergency or a non-medical condition and they want to get to the hospital, they can use our app, request for a transport to and from the medical appointment, but they get it at the price of an Uber or a taxi with the benefit of having someone who's medically trained. We keep first aid kits in our vehicles. We have car seats for patients. But here, particularly in the Pan-African Village, we're launching the first daycare urgent care medical center so that those relocated from the diaspora that have health conditions or health concerns, you know, can feel confident and comfortable that, you know, within minutes they could get to a medical facility and be treated. And part of our efforts is to bring African-American nurses, African-American doctors, and Ghanaian African doctors who live in the States, and bring them back to the continent so that they can work collaboratively with the local healthcare professionals and accommodate everybody that's going to be in this 5,000 acre facility, this community of primarily, you know, most people are 50 and older that live in this community. So we want to make sure that when it comes to healthcare, that everybody has, you know, access to it.
Mm-hmm. So this the app right here?
Yeah, so the daycare app, you can download it for iOS and Android, and then when you request a ride, one of our many, you know, red or white vehicles will come and pick them up, take them to the hospital. Again, we have a certified transport specialist. That's somebody who we've hired here in Ghana, and we've trained them on how to provide medical transport, right? So again, they have the basic life support kit, they have a wheelchair, so if somebody has limited mobility, we have a wheelchair in the vehicle, and they have basic, you know, CPR training, first aid. They understand, you know, how to deal with, you know, blood spills and things of that nature. And then they sometimes will show up with a nurse in the vehicle. So if somebody wants home care service, you know, since the pandemic, that has increased the demand for that. So we send our nurses, we hire unemployed or underemployed nurses in Ghana, and we bring them to the patient's home so they can provide basic care in their home. And of course, if they need any urgent care or medical, they bring them to the local hospital.
Yeah. I would also have a question. Say like with the medical center that's going to be built, who's going to be in over it? Who's going to be running or in charge? That's what people would like to know as well.
Yeah. So you know, I'm not a healthcare professional. I just understand the importance of it. So what I do is I hire healthcare professionals that have the training, and they're going to run it. So we have administrators that have over 20, 30 years in healthcare. And all I'm doing is building a facility since nobody else was doing it, right? And having healthcare professionals rent out a space and provide the various specialties that they do. So it's like I'm a landlord just for a medical center. Right? But I don't have a healthcare background. I have been in medical logistics. You know, I transported time-sensitive products like blood and other specimens for the American Red Cross. So if somebody went and donated blood and somebody was having surgery, we would transport the blood all the way from Baltimore, Maryland, down to Charlotte, Atlanta, Ohio. So wherever people had a surgery and they needed, you know, either a liver, a heart, we would transport those items. So that's where my specialty is, 16 years of logistics. And, you know, you could really just simplify that by using technology now. And that's all I did. And it just made sense, a great vertical, since I'm living here and I have health concerns, right? That if I get sick, I want to know that I have qualified people that can treat me. So I said, let me build it. You know, I have a healthcare, medical transport business, so I'm building the medical center. And it's not just traditional medicine. You know, we have, you know, herbalists that if they want to operate in there, right? So everybody has their preference. So we want to make sure that we accommodate everybody and everybody can have access to the care that they prefer and that they need.
So with everything being set up and everything, would you also be a part of, say, the board as far as like overseeing, making sure like everybody, you know, taking responsibility of what they should be, like, or oversight, in other words, making sure like
again,
the place ran right, is kept up, is maintained, is, you know, is staying clean and stuff like that.
You know, I'm a United States Marine, right? Like, we like order, discipline, cleanliness. So, of course.
No, I just wanted to make sure you were a part of that. Okay.
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
It's my property, so I have to make sure that, you know, it's ran well. But again, I always like to partner with people who have more experience and knowledge than
right,
the
of
areas
course.
that I'm not strong.
Yeah.
So those people will definitely be managing and you know, making sure that the facility is operating like a first-class facility that we have in the States. But you know, because it's mine and, you know, I'm building it, then, you know, of course I have to protect my investment. So,
right.
But the people that we're bringing on board, I mean, they have extensive, you know, history in the healthcare field, and a lot of them are coming from the States, and they want to live in, you know, they're moving to Africa. So that's part of what we're doing, is giving them a transition plan that they could do so, right? So we provide them with a daycare license in the U.S., because most doctors, you have more Ghanaian doctors in the U.S. than you have here in Ghana, right? But how do you get people to leave, you know, that kind of money to come here and make CDs? You can't do that. So what my company has done is we license out our platform in the markets that these healthcare workers live, so that they have a U.S.-based business that's generating revenue, so that they could come here and they could, you know, get paid for their services in CDs, but it's not a stress on them because they have a U.S.-based business that's generating revenue for them. And that's how we get them to come and not have to worry about that. And then they could be more on, you know, providing the kind of care that they want to without the stress and worries of finances.
So you know, I don't want to, you know, push the envelope, but I was saying, you know, part of that, what you were saying, would it be good, I mean, suggestion to throw at those that's over the whole Pan-African project, you know, from the King and others, to get them incentive, like, okay, if we're gonna give you a piece of one of these plots and stuff, that way you have a doctor or nurse living on base, or build a complex or apartment like I see in Ghana, like they have nurses complexes where nurses live there and stuff, something like that, you know, to ease the burden of them living on property with.
Well, I don't know if the chief and them is going to do that. I mean,
it was
he's already
suggested.
giving away the land, and people just have to deed it. So if individuals want to move here and live in it, then they would get the land from the chief and they would build a home. But in the other land that I own throughout the country, I'm building communities that have a health care, the same daycare, medical center, and we build homes for them, so when they come, they already have a home. You know, I love what the chief is doing here, but, you know, coming from America, we're used to buying homes, not coming and building homes.
Right. Yeah.
So in the properties that I own, we're building homes so that they can come in, have a turnkey situation and move in, and then the medical center is right there in the community where they live, so they can live, work, and play right in those facilities. So I think it's a great idea, but the chief has already extended free land, and all we're really paying is to deed it in our name, right, for the indenture. So I think that is already here.
So I was saying also with the say with those that's been trained real well coming from the U.S. or the UK and stuff, are y'all gonna have also some type of program, say like for those nurses and doctors that's been going to school here and they've been trained, but yet those that's coming can link up with them after they finish to take them to the next level of their training.
And that's what it is. It's a collaborative effort, right? So we're going to bring healthcare professionals from the States, and they're going to work collaboratively with healthcare professionals here. And they work. Some of the partners that we already have, we're partnered with Dental Clinic, right? Dr. Emma Oliveira. So all of our oral hygienists that come and work with us, they will be working in collaboration with them, and they will be having a facility in all of our medical facilities that we build throughout the city. Then we've also partnered with iExpress, Dr. Na. So all of our opticians that come in, they'll work through her, and they'll come in and they'll share knowledge. It's knowledge transfer. There's a lot of stuff, you know, going back traditionally that we can learn from the local doctors, and then there's a lot of, you know, formal education stuff that they could learn from us coming from the U.S. So it's all about working together and making sure that the people who are living in the Pan-African village have access to the right care at the right time at an affordable rate.
Okay, so y'all heard it, man. Y'all heard it from Marvin. He got the thing together. It's moving, it's going and stuff, and we asking, you know, y'all just come on and enjoy and get a piece of this pie and everything. We getting things placed in order. Oh yeah, one more question. So is it just for the Pan-African village or a Cebu area altogether?
It's for the whole community,
you
know, collectively. So of course this is going to be the daycare, urgent care, medical center, but we're providing services to the whole community. We've already hired 25 individuals from the local villages surrounding Cebu, so that, you know, we have anchors in all of those communities. And so we're creating employment for those individuals, both as medical transports. We've hired a bunch of nurses here and in Cape Coast. So, you know, again, it's all about collaboratively working to make sure that we have the quality care that we need.
Just don't forget my village where me and my wife been in school at. Unyaba. That's the main village right there, Unyaba. Right there.
It's right here. So,
yeah, right down the street. Yeah, I got to make sure I take care of my peoples over there.
Listen, brother, it's 3 ways they can access the service. You can download the app if you have a smartphone. So if you have an iPhone or Android, go to the Play Store or the iOS store, download the app for those young people who are tech savvy. For the elders who are not, they just use their Yam phone and they call our call center, and our people will dispatch any type of care that they need, whether it's transportation or it's to a nurse to come and render basic care to them in the comfort of their home, right? If it can't be rendered there and they need to see a doctor, then we'll either bring them to, you know, the medical facility, or they could use our remote patient monitoring app and contact with the doctor through our telemed platform, right? So we made it easy and convenient for people to get access to the care that they need, right? So download the app, call us, right? Or you'll see our booking kiosks at any one of our partnered facilities, and then they could use that and just get access to our services.
Okay. Yeah, that's a big issue that we've been having out here, and I wanted to know how we can go about it, how something can be set up. Is that, you know how normally we do physicals in the state, but they don't do that here in Ghana. You know, and that's been one of the biggest things. They threw one of the ladies that's living, you know, here, building in here. She got a doctor to come, and they set something up a couple of months ago in a Cebu, and they passed out flyers, and you know, some people came. It was for the women, so they, you know, ain't as many as should have came, but it had a handful came, and when they did little checkups on them, and they was finding out some was pregnant, some had cancer, some had, you know, this, because these people, and they didn't know, because they don't do regular checkups at all and stuff, you know. And I was trying to see what kind of program or what kind of thing that we can, you know, like help them to get to that point, because that's what, you know, me and the wife been in school as king and queen chief of development. So, and I told people, like I let people know, development don't start with the physical part, it start with the mental part. If your mind ain't developed, everything, nothing else ain't gonna be developed and stuff. And so these are the things that we've been working on, and so we're trying to find out ways of, to, you know, to enlighten the people to notice it, to pay attention, to do maintenance on their body and stuff. And if you notice they don't do that.
Just like you maintenance your car, you have to maintenance your body, right? Keep death at a respectable distance. So what we do in Accra is every month we do free screenings, right? So we check people's blood pressure, we check, you know, their heart rate, we check, you know, my nurses, they go there, we check their blood sugar levels, check their weight, right? So we do that every month in the community, daycare, health and transport. We go out and we set up our tents, and we give this free to the community so that we can make people aware of exactly what you're talking about. And then that is an introduction to the other screenings that they could get, right? So first it starts with education, right? So we educate them, give them these services that lets them know about their health, and then they can take the next step, and we provide them with information. So same thing we're going to do here. Once the structure is erected, you know, people can come and they can get their free screenings once a month for those various services. Some will be 100% free, and some will incur a small or nominal fee just to cover you know, the cost of expenses. But you know, that's what we're going to do to get everybody where they need to be.
So y'all heard it, y'all, right here at the Pan-African Village in the Cebu district in the central region of Ghana.
Yeah.
And I am the traveling Israelite, and I am out of here. Shalom, shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Yes, sir.